welcome meeting that I have recorded for you, which should give you all of the information that you need for when your child starts in F1 with us. If you have any questions afterwards, you are more than welcome to contact the school and we would be happy to answer any questions for you, but hopefully this will cover everything that you need to know.
So this is the information that I will be covering throughout the duration of this meeting. So it includes things like pupil premium entitlement. You'll get a chance to see the members of the EYFS team. There'll be lots of information about the routine in F1. There'll be uniform information and information about the family centre. Our ethos here at Highwood is where individuals matter. This basically means exactly what it says. We will treat each child that joins us as an individual and cater for their emotional and learning needs as appropriate to them. Our day-to-day routine and teaching focuses mostly on our 6 Highwood learning behaviours. From the moment the children start at Highwood, they are introduced to each of these characters and very quickly learn what each of them mean. It's amazing when they start using the vocabulary of these learning behaviours and recognising when they're demonstrating each one. We also have our 6 Highwood values, which are taught right from the very beginning in nursery. We introduce the children to the vocabulary of the values, and again, they very quickly learn what each one means, and also begin to recognise when they're demonstrating these in their day-to-day life at Highwood. In your welcome packs, there will be a form for you to complete in relation to the Pupil Premium grant. There is certain criteria to be met in order to be eligible for this, so it's advised that you do complete this form so that we can see if the school can access extra funding, even if you think you may not even be eligible. So these are the faces that will be working closely with your children every day. Mrs. Parker is the foundation stage leader and she oversees both F1 and F2, but you may see her around from time to time. You have myself, Miss Nunn, and I'm the class teacher. You will have direct contact with me each day at the door. The other ladies are our early years practitioners who are also key workers to the children. We have Mrs. Vanker, Mrs. Aline, Miss Chowdhury, Miss Mayer and Mrs. Bailey. So if you haven't had a chance to already look around our setting, I will take you through some photos now of the different areas that we have. These photos are taken of the garden. As you can see, we have many different areas out there. There is lots of space for the children to ride the bikes and scooters, run around, explore the natural environment. There's some climbing equipment such as the hill and the large tyres, and there's plenty of opportunity to develop their language and their physical skills. Inside we have the woodland room, which is the main classroom that we use for most of the teaching. This is where we do our role play. We have a maths area, we have a writing area or mark making. We have a quiet corner for reading and just having some quiet time. And we also have some small world toys for the children to engage in imaginative play. The next area is our pond room, which is where we create and get very messy. So this is where we do all of our messy activities such as painting, junk modelling, sand and water play, messy plays, Play-Doh. This is also the area where the children have their snack time and also eat their lunch during lunch club. These are the toilets and the hand washing sinks that the children will be using. We do have another set of toilets in the pond room. These are the ones in the woodland room, but they look exactly the same with the yellow doors. They are small toilets to allow the children to be able to use them easily, and the children are encouraged to wash their hands by lots of visual prompts and by adult support. Just outside of the classrooms we have the cloakroom, which is where the children will come straight in and hang all their belongings. Each child has their own individual peg with their name and their photograph on it. They can keep everything here, such as their PE kits, their welly boots, their bag of spare clothes, their coats, and anything else that they bring with them to school. At Highwood we do have our behaviour management policy. Down in F1 we do use a behaviour chart. All the children start on the sunshine in the morning and they have the chance to work their way up. or for not such good choices, they may work their way down. We also get involved with the Star of the Week, where one child is chosen each week to be the Star of the Week for demonstrating our Highwood learning behaviour. As mentioned previously, each child will be allocated a key worker, which are our early years practitioners that are in the setting. The key worker will be responsible for helping and supporting your child with the transition into F1, keeping you up to date with your child's learning, talk to you about your child's progress as and when necessary. They'll use your child's interest to plan for their learning, and they'll be on hand for the sharing of any information. All the children are split into key groups. They very quickly learn which group they are in. Some of our group times and carpet times may be carried out in the different key groups, but it just basically helps them to learn which group they're in and who their key worker is. In F1, we do follow termly topics just like the rest of the school. So the autumn term is what makes us special, the spring term is why do things change, and the summer term is how are all animals different. All of the activities and learning that takes place in these terms are mostly linked to the topic, and we do have wow events in each term to grip the children and help them to learn what each topic actually means. In our F1 classroom, we do have our planning board, which shows what the children are learning throughout each topic each term. This will be on the wall. You can pop in and see it whenever you like, or you will get the chance to see it at the splat sessions, which will be explained in better detail a little bit later. As you are all aware, we do offer different sessions in F1. So there is a morning session, an afternoon session, or the all-day session. So the doors open at 8:45 in the morning, the lunchtime start at 11:45, the afternoon session starts at 12:45, and then home time is between 3:15 and 3:30. There is an additional charge of £2.40 per lunchtime, as you are all probably aware by now. The children have the choice as to bring a packed lunch or to have a school dinner. The charge for the school dinner is extra, which there is information about this in your packs. When having school dinner, the children have a choice of a meat option, a vegetarian option, or a jacket potato with a drink and a dessert. We do send reading books home with F1 children. We send one book which has no words, which allows them to begin developing their comprehension skills by looking at the pictures and saying what they see. And the other one is a library book for you to share with your children. This can either be used for a bedtime story or a story to sit down after dinner, but it's for you to read to them so that they develop their listening skills. F1 nursery children do wear a uniform. So this is the same as the rest of the children at Highwood. This is the list of things that they will need in terms of their uniform, and there is a picture here to show you what that would look like. Each day when coming to nursery, the children need to bring along their book bag. They also need a water bottle which they can keep on the drink station and have access to their water whenever they need it. They'll need appropriate clothing for the weather. So if it's cold, obviously coat, hat and gloves. If it's hot, they do need a sun hat. We do reapply sun cream for the all-day children in the afternoon, so this needs to be in their bag and labelled too. And they also need to bring either a packed lunch or lunch money. As mentioned before, every child does have their own peg, so there are a few things that can stay in school. Their PE kit can stay, and I will send it home every half term or termly to be cleaned depending on how much it's used. They will all need a pair of welly boots which can live under their peg. A spare bag of clothes is also very useful, so that can stay on their peg too, and I will send it home when it needs to be restocked. If the children are still in nappies, then these need to be provided too. We do have an absence policy here, so if your child isn't going to be in school due to sickness, we do need to be informed of this. And if you are booking any holiday during the term time, we need absence forms to be completed so that we know about this. There are many ways for you to keep in touch with the school. We do have an open door policy, so please do feel free to come in and have a chat with us if you have any concerns or anything you want to chat about. We have our splat sessions, which were mentioned previously, where you can come and do a stay and play session with the children in nursery. Learning journeys you have access to, you can see these whenever you like. We do offer a parents' evening, and reports will be written for the children at the end of the school year. F1 do have a Twitter page, which I do advise you to follow. This will give you regular updates of what the children are getting up to in class, things that we are learning about and activities that we are doing. This is updated every day so that you can see what your child has been up to and continue any appropriate learning at home. We do have a family centre here that is run by our parent support advisor. This is accessible for all parents, so if you do feel that you would benefit from access to this, then please do speak to to myself, the class teacher. As routines have been very different in school recently, the home visits and the visit days are to be confirmed. As you can probably appreciate and understand, things may be a little bit different this year compared to normal, so we will be in touch with you to arrange these in plenty of time for you to prepare and plan for them.
I hope that gave you all the information that you need ready for when your child starts here with us in F1 at Highwood. We will be in contact with you very soon to arrange dates of when we can expect your child to be coming to do their visits. I will also be sending across a social story that I've put together, which is for you to go through with your child. It's got lots of photos of the setting, lots of photos of the staff, so it will just prepare them for when that they start here with us. Like I said, if you do have any more questions or you want any more information, please do contact the school. But I look forward